Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we have some tips on how you can keep your packages safe if a porch pirate happens to stop by for the holidays. And there's a struggle to legalize sports betting here in the Commonwealth as lawmakers continue to debate it at the state capitol.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
5:35 here on this Tuesday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Thanks so much for waking up with us and joining us. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at our forecast. And Brandon, I couldn't really decide this morning how it felt outside because, I don't know, maybe I was just rushing out the door, but I didn't really need my big, thick jacket that I normally wear. I don't know.
It's a little warmer here in Hazard than it was when I left the house. I think temperatures actually went up a little bit on my way in. But yeah, it was in the 30s at the house and 40s here in Hazard this morning. So not terrible, but not like super warm. Right. Now the super warm comes later today as we head into the forecast. Let's take a look at one of our issues this morning. Some dense fog out there. Came through quite a bit of that on my way in. So just be careful. Anything less than 5 on this map, which is Charleston, Hazard, Harlan for sure, Middlesboro, Williamsburg, Somerset, and Jacksboro is pretty close there. Just be aware of that. Pikeville, you can see they're fogged in this morning. 38 over at the US 119, US 23 intersection near Pikeville Commons. So we've got 32 in Hazard. We've got 28 in Jonesville, 29 in Clintwood, 39 in Logan, 34 Somerset, Williamsburg, 37 Harlan, 41 Jackson, and in Moorhead. So you see their temperatures basically double digits in many locations, colder than they were this time yesterday. Jonesville is the winner. 20 degrees colder than it was this time yesterday morning. Day planner for today, we're heading up and fast. 64 a daytime high after temperatures are in the 20s and 30s this morning in many areas. Sunny clouds for a bit, and those clouds move back in ahead of a cold front. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. One person is dead following a crash in Letcher County yesterday. Letcher EMS tells us it happened around 8:30 Monday morning on Highway 7, just south of the Blackie community. That driver was identified as 22-year-old Matthew Bailey of Blackie. We are told that Bailey left the road, flipped several times, and was thrown from the car. Officials say he was the only person in the car. A Dickinson County, Virginia man who went missing earlier this month was found dead this past weekend. Norton police tell us they found Jason Keith Mullins Saturday afternoon. They did not release where he was found in relation to the Norton Community Hospital, where he went missing back on November 13th. Police did say at this point no foul play is suspected in his death. His body was sent to the medical examiner's office in Roanoke for an autopsy. And the man accused of killing London police officer Logan Medlock was back in court Monday. Casey Bird appeared in Laurel Circuit Court for a pre-trial conference. He's accused of driving drunk when he crashed into Officer Logan Medlock's cruiser last month. Police say Bird's blood alcohol level was more than 3 times the legal limit. He's being held on a $1 million bond and is set to be back in court on December 19th for a bond hearing in another pretrial conference. Wayne County Sheriff's deputies arrested a man after they say he failed to stop at a stop sign and began weaving in and out of traffic on Friday. Deputies say while they followed a car, 55-year-old James Cowan in Monticello began throwing something out the window. Well, they say they recovered the item and discovered it was a plastic bag with meth residue inside. Cowan is facing several charges, including fleeing or evading police and tampering with physical evidence. Well, this year's Cyber Monday was expected to be the biggest online shopping day in U.S. history. That means that many packages will be left on doorsteps across eastern Kentucky in the coming days and weeks. WYMT's Keaton Hall has more on how to keep your items safe this holiday.
Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday. A busy weekend for shoppers means an increase in package deliveries and an increase in thefts.
We do see an increase in the thefts this time of the year because people are going Christmas shopping and they're going to have more items.
To keep your packages safe, Deputy Gilbert Achardo recommends you purchase a security camera.
And you can have it tied to a little inexpensive video camera that's motion detected that will pick up somebody coming up into your front yard and taking things that don't belong to them.
Officials also recommend you check for your deliveries often and don't let packages sit out overnight.
You can actually request a time for them to deliver items to your house, so that way you'll make sure that you're going to be there.
The Postal Service lets you track your packages using their informed delivery feature. You can also request they hold your packages if you won't be home. You can track or modify your UPS delivery with UPS My Choice, and with FedEx, their FedEx Delivery Manager. The Laurel County Sheriff's Department also offers an away-from-home service on their Laurel SO app.
Give us the address to your residence, and we'll have deputies patrol that area frequently while you're on vacation. That way you can have some peace of mind.
You can also have your packages delivered to a neighbor or family member if you won't be home. In London, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, earlier this year, House Bill 23 made porch piracy a felony in Kentucky, punishable by 1 to 5 years in prison. In various places across the country, sports betting is now legal, but in Kentucky, legalization efforts have come up short. The effort to legalize sports betting in Kentucky hasn't been successful so far. This year, the sports betting bill made it out of the House, but it came up short in the Senate. So the big question is, would they even have the votes next year? Lawmakers say it is tough to say whether it will happen or not. Now, there's also the issue of next year being an odd-numbered year, which in Frankfort means it will be a short 30-day session. Many lawmakers hope that will not be an issue.
Sports betting is just an extension of our history and tradition of betting on horses, which is a form of sports betting.
There has been some opposition to sports betting. The Family Foundation has opposed previous legalization bills, saying that sports wagering is not constitutional in Kentucky. The group also believes it would bring social harm to Kentucky families. 3 counties in our region were randomly selected yesterday as part of a standard post-election audit from the Kentucky Attorney General's office. Rowan, Laurel, and Breathitt were among the 12 that were selected. The audits will be conducted by the Attorney General's Department of Criminal Investigations. The audit has to be conducted within 20 days of the election. Well, just ahead this morning, a famous American singer and songwriter is apologizing to his fans who were left disappointed after receiving special copies of his new book. That's coming up.
And rain chances are on the way back tonight, and they are not coming alone. I'll have the latest on more possible impacts in about 3 minutes.